Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jet Performance Products V-Force Plus Performance Module
for the 2007 through 21 Toyota Tundras.
If you're looking for an all-in-one performance tuner that enhances horsepower, throttle response, and fuel efficiency, this is going to be a great option. It's perfect for Tundra owners who want noticeable gains without extensive engine modifications, whether you're towing, off-roading, or it's just your daily driver. This V-Force Plus Performance Module is the ultimate all-in-one tuner for the Tundra. This can substantially boost power and fuel efficiency through ignition timing, throttle response adjustments, and altered fuel maps. This performance module is going to be perfect for any Tundra, but especially those equipped with oversized tires or some added weight for recouping lost power and making your Tundra fun to drive again. It's going to feature this built-in LED display, which provides real-time monitoring of engine data such as air-fuel ratio, manifold pressure, and throttle positioning. With multiple tuning options available, you can customize performance settings to fit your style, whether you need extra power for towing or just better fuel efficiency overall for highway cruising. This is going to have your options covered. Jet Electronics designs this module using high-quality automotive-grade components, ensuring long-lasting performance and reliability. The compact, durable housing protects this internal circuitry from heat and vibration, making it ideal for daily driving or even off-road use. The easy-to-read black and white display, along with the convenient option of a suction cup or a sticky pad to mount it in your truck, are both great options and make it easy to use and convenient for your truck. Now, as far as pricing goes on this, it's coming in right around that mid-300s price range, which is an affordable price point for getting more control out of your engine, gaining fuel economy, and even boosting that throttle response along the way. Installation on this one is going to be fairly straightforward, so we're rating this a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and you can have this installed in just 15 minutes of your time. Now, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through that install process.
For this install, you will need a 10mm ratchet wrench, a pair of wire strippers and crimpers, a pair of needle nose pliers, or the provided fuse puller. And also not shown here, but for how we hooked up our wires, is a fuse tab. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing a performance module on our Tundra, so let's get started. Alright guys, so we've got our hood up, and the first thing we're going to do is disconnect our negative battery cable, because we don't want any power going through our vehicle while we're hooking up our new module. So we've got our 10mm ratchet wrench, we're going to loosen up our 10mm pinch bolt, and get our negative terminal off. Loosen it up. Pop that off. We'll tuck this down in here so it's not running the risk of touching our post. So the next thing we're going to do is grab our harness and we're going to send our module connector through our firewall into our cab so we can hook everything up. Now how we're going to do that is we're going to come right next to our brake booster, and there is a large grommet we can kind of pull to the side and send this through and get this into our cab. So now we've got our connector. We come to this grommet. Pull that to the side. That is kind of hard to see. Now once you've got your connector through the grommet, you want to feed a little bit through, make it a little easier on you going into the cab. Okay. Now we've come into the cab underneath our dash, and you're going to find that connector right next to your parking brake pedal. Pull that through. Okay. So now that we have our connector and wire through, we're going to have to route it to where we want to install our module. Now, this module is basically on a suction cup, so you can mount it wherever you'd like. If you want it on your windshield or wherever. We're going to put ours right up here on our dash hump. Just makes it simple. Again, you can mount this wherever you'd like. So what we're going to do is tuck this harness up through and out of the way, and then run it over to here so we can plug our module in and set it in place. Tuck this wire in, kind of push it in here and out of the way as best as possible. And then have it up and ready to plug in. Now we can build our stand for our module before we install it. So we've got our base. got a cover for the adhesive. Just gonna pop that off. Now wherever you're mounting this, you want to make sure it's pretty clean and dry. So we're gonna stick this on, press that down nice. Once we have that on, we're gonna grab our suction cup base, set that on. We'll lock that into place, nice and secure. We're gonna grab our module itself. That's gonna lock into our mounting bracket. Slide that in, set that down. And we're gonna grab our mounting pin. We need to unscrew this. We're gonna plug our module in with the connector, so we'll just line this up. There's very tight tolerances on this connector, so you wanna make sure you have everything lined up so you don't bend any pins. Set our bracket in, grab our pin, get that through. And this has a square opening, so it'll lock that pin in place. You want to take your nut, just tighten that down. And you can take your excess harness and tuck that back and secure that however you'd like. Now our next step is going to be to attach our power wire. Now this does come with a spade connector and a fuse adapter in your kit. However, fuse tabs are much easier to deal with and they're more modular. There's less invasive process going on. So we've got a fuse tab attached to our power wire. It's just a butt connector. You just want to crimp that on. These do not come with your kit, but they are readily available at auto parts stores for very cheap. And honestly, they're a much easier, safer option. So we've got this. We're gonna pop the lid off of our fuse block. Just got a tab. Just want to push that. Pop this off and we'll set it aside. Now you do have a chart on these. You can look and find a 12-volt ignition source, which is what we want. So we're gonna come down to this bottom row of fuses, and this one down to the right at the end is gonna be a 10 amp fuse. That's gonna be a 12-volt ignition. So we're gonna get our fuse tab into that. Now your truck should have a fuse puller in the fuse block located back here. If you don't, you can grab some needle nose pliers. So we're gonna pull this 10 amp fuse. Set our fuse puller back. We're gonna install this into the open slot. Now most of these fuse tabs come with fuses in them. Just wanna make sure it's a 10 amp. We got both of those secure. Install this right where that fuse came out. Pop this down. We can grab our lid and reinstall that. All right, so next we're gonna remove our engine beauty cover. This is just gonna give us a little bit more room when we go to our throttle position sensor. So we're just gonna pop this off and set it aside for the moment. We're gonna run the rest of our harness over this way. So now we need to tap into our TPS wiring. Now the wire we're looking for on our TPS is this red wire with the yellow stripe. We're gonna install our provided T-tap to that. So we're gonna wrap this around the wire. It's gonna sit in this metal saddle. Then we're gonna clamp this down. That's gonna provide a good connection. And we'll plug the male spade connector on our brown wire into this T-tap. So again, we're looking for this red wire with the yellow stripe. Now you want to be very careful doing this. We're going to send our T-tap into it and get it to straddle that wire. I know this is hard to see, but once you get it straddled, you can take needle nose pliers and carefully clamp down on that. That makes a good connection. Now that we have that tapped, we'll take our brown wire. You should already have a male spade connector on them. That's going to plug right into the back of this T-tap. Sometimes the sheathing makes it a little difficult. So now that we have our throttle positioning sensor wire tapped in, we're gonna need to come to our mass airflow sensor. What we're gonna do is unplug that first. It's gonna make it easier to work with. Now we need to cut back some of this loom because we need to expose a good bit of wire so we can access the blue wire with the yellow stripe. So I've got a razor knife. We're gonna very carefully cut back the tape and loom. And you do not want to cut into your wiring while doing this, so be very careful. And once that's cut, you can kind of peel back that loom section so you don't have to cut into that so much. And we'll slice back this inner tape. And definitely want to be careful. You also don't want to cut your fingers. Take your time. So now that we've got a good bit exposed, this is just enough room to work with. Going to be looking for the blue wire with the yellow stripe. It's going to be this guy right here. And we'll isolate that. Then we're going to cut this wire. So if you've got angle cutters or some type of cutters, just want to snip that wire. Now you don't want to cut it right at the connector because we're going to be adding in connectors on this. Now that we've got that cut. All right, so now that we've got this cut, we need to strip off some sheathing. Now that we've got that stripped. To this section that goes to the plug for your MAF, we're going to add our male spade connector provided in our kit. Get that on. And crimp that down with our crimpers. Make sure you don't cut any of your other wires. I like to give it a little tug just to make sure it's good. And to that one, we're going to plug in our gray wire, which already has a female spade connector on it. Okay. And we can come to our other wire, or other side of our wire rather, and strip that one out as well. Get as much exposed as you can. Sometimes it's a little tough. Now to this wire, we're going to add our provided female spade connector. Once again, we'll grab our crimpers, give that a nice crimp, make sure that's on there. And on that one is going to go our green wire, which again should have a spade connector already on it. And once you have this on, we'll plug this back in to our mass airflow sensor. Now we can hook up our ground wire. Now to get the most room out of your harness, you want to hook up your ground on the same side as we're hooking up to our other sensors. We've got our 10mm ratcheting wrench. We have two ground straps here behind our air box. We're going to hook our black wire, which is our ground and already has a ring terminal on it, to one of these. Doesn't matter which one, whichever one you choose. Ground is ground no matter where the ground is. There's kind of a tight space back in here. Make sure you don't drop this bolt. Once you have that out, I'm going to bring our ground wire over. Reinstall that bolt. Once we have that started, we'll grab our 10mm ratchet wrench and tighten that back down. Alrighty folks, so the last wire you'll have out is an optional hookup. Now this is for visually monitoring your air-fuel ratio on your module. It does not change any functions of your module itself, it simply will allow you to visually see what your air-fuel ratio is doing in real time if you choose to do that option. Now, this is going to involve you getting down to your upstream O2 sensors or air-fuel ratio sensors pre-CAT, and you'll want to tap into your air-fuel signal wire, which is going to be a black wire with a white stripe that crosses over to both of your upstream sensors, and then it goes back to your ECU and tells it what the air-fuel ratio is doing. Again, this does not change any functions for your module, it's simply adding an optional visual representation of your air-fuel ratio. If you wish to hook this up, you can, for demonstration purposes, because it's very involved to try to get down to that harness. We are not going to hook it up. But again, you want to find the black with white striped wire on your air-fuel ratio harness and tap into that. Now once you have everything hooked up, you can clean up your harness however you would like. The main things are to keep it out of the way of any hot or moving parts so you don't damage your harness or the vehicle in the process. Once you have that done, you can reinstall your engine beauty cover. Just hook this back up. Set that into place. All right, so now the last step in the engine bay is going to be to hook back up our negative battery terminal. So we'll get this back in place. We'll make sure that's set down nice and firm. And we'll take our 10mm ratchet wrench and tighten this back up. Okay. Alrighty guys, so now we're back in at our module. Now, doing this at home, you want to keep this kind of out of your driver's view directly. A good spot to mount this is up on your windshield. You can stick this up kind of out of the way. It's going to be a little bit easier for you. This was just to show you how to assemble it. So we've got everything hooked up. So now when you turn your key on and turn your vehicle on, you can power your module on. So now when you turn your module on with the power button, the first thing that's going to come up is your main screen. So you'll have your mass airflow sensor, your fuel rate, your battery voltage, your throttle position sensor. So when you hit the gas, all this is going to change, and that's how you know it's monitoring correctly. And you can cycle through your options through this up and down button. So this is going to show you a few different options in different graphs. It's all basically the same thing. It's going to show fuel economy, battery voltage, and this will adjust on the fly by itself to optimize your performance. So you can come through, you can have your graphs. It's going to show live data, so you can check on the functionality of your throttle position. And you'll get your waves. This is going to be in a bar graph mode, and you'll see that spike. Mass airflow sensor, same thing. Bar graph. This will tell you your fuel economy, where you're at. Then you're just cycling through. Battery voltage. Now this is where that optional purple wire is going to come into play. It's still going to give you a baseline graph, but if you want more optimal monitoring, you want to hook up that purple wire. Again, it's not going to change anything as far as functionality of this module. It's just going to give you a more precise live data. But as you can see, it's still going to move as we hit the gas. Now this will obviously look different driving down the road. And then you come back to your base screen. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our Jet Performance Products V-Force Plus Performance Module for your 07 to 21 Tundra. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Tundra, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.